to show how to do a lavender wand. Try to do this as carefully as possible. Now when you already have your bunch in this position with it tied at the neck, right there.
At the neck, in the pick.
Thank you, Jonathan. Okay.
Thank you, Barnishing.
You take one stem, preferably as close to the knot, and pull it down. But you have to be very gentle. Okay? So now we have that. You can see that. Okay, then the ribbon goes across. And then we pull the next stem down. You need to do this, and then over, next stem down, so then now the ribbon is on top again. So this is what, after doing 3 spots, need to look like right there. Okay? You need to do this when the stems are fairly fresh. So this is not a project where you pick a whole bunch of lavender and you let it wait a couple days, because they will dry out and then they will be brittle and this won't be as cute or fun. And you need them fresh so that, see, now we're starting to go around. Okay. You need them fresh so that it the stems will bend nicely but not be broken. And if you break stem, you need an odd number of stems to finish out one row. So if you break a stem, you have to be extra careful, because you might have to just even it out. But don't do that until you've actually completed one whole row. So now we're getting close. Okay, we've got just a handful of stems up here. Most of the stems are down here, like that. Okay, and we are still just holding on to the bunch as gentle as we can. Gentle but firm. Don't mind the little voices. Okay, so under, over, under, and last one. There you go. Now the trick now that we've completed the first row, you see that? It'll look kind of like that. Oops. Like a little there. And now we have to find the first stem that we did. So you'll have to very gently pick that out, because now that's going to be the stem that goes on top. Okay, and then from now on you just have to continue to find the stem that goes on top, so that completes your weaving process. And this visual is really well, and I'll probably have to redo this video, but that's okay. So see that? Okay, this is where we're at, and so far, and I've already done 3 rows. Let's let this kind of, and you can kind of see how it goes, how it weaves in the over under, and by this it also creates a nice little basket with which to like a sachet to keep all of these petals in. Another thing to remember is that if you've washed these and then you do this right away, these will all be wet. So you need to have it, you need to be able to ventilate these in a place so that they'll dry nice without getting weird. So, or some people would worry if they have mold in them. 9 times out of 10 they probably won't, but it just depends on how you make them. So I'm going to continue on from here, and you'll also notice that the one part of the ribbon is just long enough to be able to tuck inside, so it won't be an issue later on. So you see that it just ends right there. So, but anyways, you just continue the process as you go all the way down with the over-under weaving process. And you always want to be able to find that next piece that goes on top, that next stem that goes on top. And sometimes you need to just kind of like that. You try to keep these tight if possible. You don't want to do it too tight, but you want to keep it firm. So this part right here, like that. Then this one is the next one to go on top. Like so. Too close, this is not going to be clear for you, but you just keep on going as such, and then it'll get kind of thicker here, and it'll start to taper off down as you get down here, and that's when I'll resume back. Okay, I'm still going here, and still with the over-under concept, the weaving, always finding the next stem that needs to go on top. And then that's what you need, that's the one that you're always looking for. There is digging involved sometimes, and you have to remember you still need to stay gentle. If for whatever reason, I've been lucky that I haven't broken one on this particular one yet. If you break one, and if you break a stem, the best time to fix that is, you know, right within that, like if you have a bunch, I don't know if you can see this very well, but there's like a whole bunch of stems that are stuck right here. Whereas as I keep turning it, then they're kind of more sparse. It's almost easier to hide the extra broken stems in this type of bunched area. And all you have to really do is just skip over and then just try to make it still stay even. The most important thing that you want to keep straight is that as long as you can still see the weaving and keep the weaving straight. If you're missing one and you have to like skip over a couple, then that's fine. It's not the end of the world. So let's see here. But another thing that I wanted to get into is the fact that we're getting towards the end of this big area here. And I've already done quite a bit, and it's going to taper off, and once it tapers off, it's going to do it kind of sharply, and it's almost as if in this time you almost wish that you did lose some stems, because the weaving is not going to look as nice. Another thing you can do as you're weaving is you can always kind of roll this around a little bit, try to condition it so that you can kind of keep them straight or loosen them up a little bit so they just kind of relax a little. Let's see, let's move that up a little bit here. Anyways, to continue on, next go. Does that make sense? I'm still playing with different angles to do this with, so get the next stem and tuck under. Every now and then you'll get these little pieces that pop out. That's fine. You can either just rip them out or keep them. That's entirely up to you. And I'm just going to keep on going, but as you will notice that the stems are all getting very tight now. And as you start to actually lose the space, you know, as it tapers down and it gets skinnier and skinnier, you'll just have to try to maintain, you know, your hold on it. Once you get down here, as soon as you can't really make it look good anymore and you start having big gaps like this one right here, like this big huge gap right there, then it's probably a good time to go ahead and then just call it. Let's see, where are we? So, and then at that point you can just go ahead and loop it and tie it like this. Seems kind of weird, but it actually works, especially if you're going to work straight off of the spool. That way you don't waste too much ribbon. You can just go ahead and loop a tie just like that, and then that tie you can actually loop around here again and tighten it up, and it's actually a full-on knot right there. And what I would do is pull the ribbon down, have as much ribbon as you want to hang off of it. This is a point where you can also add more ribbon to make it look all frilly, but at least ribbon down to the end of the stem. Some people like to even wind the ribbon down the rest of the way. This looks really pretty if you have like more than one ribbon. Or you can even do this, turn it, and then it kind of ends up as a ballet type little X's type thing. So there's some extra ways that you can do that.